Hello everyone, this is MMA Interesting Prospects podcast. Today our guest is Tanner Trembley, who will fight on LFA 217 September 12th. Hello Tanner, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
I'm good. And your next fight will be a really exciting one because you will fight against another undefeated fighter. He is actually a really good wrestler with also experience fighting in Bellator and in PFL, Jordan Oliver. So if you can tell me, how do you treat him as the opponent?
So actually, that fight fell through. So yeah, we got someone else. He pulled out, didn't really give a reason. I think he was scared. But yeah, he pulled out like 2 weeks ago. So now I'm actually fighting I can't remember the guy's name. But he's a Ukrainian kickboxer fighting out of Team Alpha Male. So kind of a totally different opponent as far as style, but yeah, he's 2-2 fighting out of Team Alpha Male, like I said. Kind of just a last minute replacement, but
So it's actually probably a big change because Oliver was a really like high level wrestler, and the fighter
wrestler,
that
yeah.
that you mentioned is a striker. So how do you deal with this kind of change?
You know, honestly, I kind of had doubts that it was gonna happen anyways, even though we've had the contract signed for like we had it signed for like 4 weeks, 5 weeks. Just something about it. I just kind of had doubts that he was gonna do it. But honestly, nothing really. We were kind of just training more defending takedowns and what we do if we do get taken down, that type of stuff. But I mean, really, I'm just gonna go in there and fight. It doesn't really matter what style it is. I'm gonna and try to impose my will on the guy, and so I don't really look too much into it. More Brock will kind of my head coach. He'll kind of watch the fighters, see tendencies, stuff like that. But I try not to look too far into what they do. I just go out there and do what I do. So.
And actually, with your style, when you are fighting even like really high level wrestler, I think that there may be a point that he will be winning a fight, but with your like finishing abilities, he will be
Mhm.
still always in danger. So probably with high level striker will be all the same that you will
Yeah.
be like a threat either like in the stand up department or of course on the ground too.
Yeah, I think so too. That's kind of how I'm looking at this fight is like I'd like to stand up. I don't want to take the guy down. If it happens, it happens, but I want to be on my feet. Like that's where I have the most fun is just slugging it out on the feet. So ideally that's we just kind of keep it on the feet. If I have to take him down, I'll take him down, but like you were saying, I feel like I have a lot of ways to win fights. So, I mean, whatever. I'm gonna take what comes to me, I guess. But I know, one thing that I mean, I train my ass off. We have some really good guys in the gym, and I know that when push comes to shove at the end if it has to go into the second or third round, I know that I'm gonna still be there, and that guy's probably gonna be hurting. So I'm just gonna make it a fight, and I just love to fight. So that's yeah, it's gonna be a war, and it's either gonna be a war or it's gonna be over quick. And either way, I mean, if it's a war, he's not gonna make it. So that's kind of how I see it.
And actually, as the like MMA fighter, like amateur and pro, you are not super experienced. But when I dig deep into the fighters that you actually fought against many really good prospects. As the amateur, you
Mhm.
fought and won against Canon Swanson, who I believe right now is like 4-1, and he's a
Yeah.
really good fighter. And even like two of your last wins were was against Gabe Urit,
Yep.
who I think that this is his actually only lost career like pro and amateur is you
Yes, sir. Yeah.
and also like Carl um, Zimik.
Zimic. Yeah.
Yes. So in the end you are a prospect, but also you are in some way like prospect killer.
hmm Yeah. It was kind of just by happenstance that me and Cannon ended up fighting like so early in our careers. He's a guy that I've actually gone to. I go to the academy every once in a while and get some rounds in with those guys, but he's a really good dude. I like Cannon a lot. He's a stud. Um, Probably should be undefeated actually right now too, but I think he tried to kind of highlight real the his only loss as a pro, and it kind of backfired a little bit. But yeah, Cannon he'll make it to the big show for sure. But yeah, man, and same with Gabe. I think Gabe's gonna be really good too. He was 10-0 when we fought. But I've never turned down a fight. I never will. So hopefully after this one, I can kind of make a call out. I know there's some other kind of rising prospects in LFA right now. There's the Russian. I can't remember his name either, but the Wolf. I don't know if you know who I'm talking about. Anzar, I think. I'd love that fight. That fight was kind of thrown around as something that might happen too, and I was all for it. But I think that would be a good one after this. But yeah, yeah, man, I love to fight. I'll never turn on a fight, and I want to fight. I'm 30 years old. I'm not getting any younger. Like I'm ready to go. Whoever. I just the whole reason why I'm fighting is just to see how good I am. Just to showcase my skills, and so yeah, I'm ready for whoever.
And actually, in this season, season of Contender Series, like featherweight champion from LFA will be fighting Clarion Douglas and
Yeah,
Javier
Douglas.
Reyes, who
Mhm.
also fought for the title. So maybe there will be a place for you to get maybe one, maybe two more wins and like even challenge for a title.
I think I think so. I think that's kind of I think that's definitely like I could see that happening, I guess. Yeah. Get a couple more wins, and hopefully either the way I kind of envisioning it and see it planned out is I get a couple more wins and then either get the call up just straight up into the UFC, or I get maybe Contender Series next year. But I don't know if you noticed, but there's been a lot of Minnesota boys that have been like Steve Asplin, who was supposed to fight on this LFA card. He just got the call up. Um, so I think Minnesota's kind of we're on the scene a little bit right now. So it's cool to see, and obviously it's a pretty small community up here, so we all know each other, and it's just yeah, it's cool to see. So I wouldn't be surprised if in a year or so I'm at the big show. Hopefully, God willing, we make it happen.
And actually, also this card is pretty deep if we are talking about like prospects. So
Yeah,
I
big time.
think that it's great that you of course you will fight on the like UFC Fight Pass, which I think is great, but also with the card full of prospects.
Yep. I actually just missed. I think I'm the last fight on the prelim, so I'll be on the YouTube stream. But yeah, I just missed that. Unfortunately, would have been nice. But the YouTube gets. This is my second time or third time being on the YouTube live, so and it gets quite a bit of views. So I don't know which one. I mean, so either way, man, I'm happy. I don't really care what if I'm on Fight Pass or not. I'll be there eventually. So. It's kind of how I see it. But yeah, but it's gonna be a good card. I'm excited not only to fight, but to watch this card. It's gonna be a good one.
And actually, I think that fighting on the YouTube, like, of course, when you are fighting on the Fight Pass, you are like main event or co-main event is great for your like name, for your brand. But for the like
Yeah.
catching eyes of the viewers, YouTube will be the best source for probably many years to fight on the show that is shown on YouTube.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. For sure. Um, yeah, it's gonna be a good card. We have I don't know if you've done any interviews with anyone else from my team or how familiar you are with anyone from the team. Like do you know Joey Hart?
Yes, I spoke with him. I think that before
Okay.
his Contender
Thought so.
Series fight, yes.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, so Joey will be on that card. Um, Santos Verdines, he'll be on that card as well. Um, so those are two guys from the gym that'll be there. Bobby Lee, another stud from the gym, and we got four guys on this card. So, and I think yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun to watch. We got a pretty solid team for being a pretty small. kind of hole in the wall type of gym, kind of out in St. Cloud where there's not too many people. You know, we're away from the cities, but we got a pretty special thing going. So I'm excited for us all.
And actually, you had your first amateur bout when you were 27, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yep. 27 years old. Started a little late.
So why did you make make a decision to go pro at to make an amateur bout in this time, and how much of the training did you have at that point?
So I wrestled my whole life, and I wrestled at St. Cloud State University, which is a pretty renowned as far as Division two goes. Pretty successful school for wrestling. And I've always loved fighting. I've always watched fighting. I mean, Uriah Faber was my favorite back in the WEC days. We were watching that on Spike and was it Versus, I think, or something. Um, like we were whenever Uriah was fighting, we were watching it. My whole family. I got kind of my whole family hooked on it. But growing up, I've always loved fighting. My dad, even before that, my dad, he boxed. My grandfather boxed. Um, that's where I got my Kill 'Em Quick nickname. But so growing up, we were always watching the ESPN classics, Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, all those guys. So I've kind of always my dad taught me how to box before I learned how to wrestle. So and I never boxed or anything growing up. It was just me and my brother were boxing and each other and stuff like that. But so I guess long story short, I've always loved it. I always wanted to do it. And then when I got after college, wrestling didn't really pan out how I wanted it to. But right after college, I was like, all right, I got to start doing jujitsu. So I hit up one of my buddies who was on the team, who's my best friend to this day, Tyler Matheson, who also fights. He fights out of Vegas. I don't know if you've
Yes, yes. I
met
also
Tyler.
spoke with
Yeah.
him some time ago. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, he's awesome, man. So I hit him up after I graduated and was like, "Hey, are you still doing jujitsu and stuff like that? I want to get into jujitsu now." He's like, "Yeah, come to the gym Monday." So went to the gym Monday, and then they eventually. I was like, "Man, I don't know if I want to fight," because I was just like, my wrestling career didn't pan out the way I wanted it to, and I really put a lot into that. And I was just like, I don't know if I want to give my life again to something else. But pretty much soon after starting jujitsu and getting in there and sparring, I was like, yeah, this is awesome. I got to do this. So then that was basically all she wrote. And I kind of was, I would go in there and spar, and then, but mostly I was doing jujitsu because I was thinking, oh, maybe I can make a run at like 80 cc or something like that. But then I was just like, man, fighting is it's just so much fun. So yeah, that was kind of. So actually, I was actually training for probably about a year and a half or so before I actually had that fight. So, but yeah, it's like, damn it, it's like I wish I would have done it sooner, but it is what it is. It's all, hindsight. But yeah, I definitely wish I would have started a little bit sooner, but it's all good. I'm here for a reason. I'm not. It is what it is. I think God has a plan for us, so I ain't
And
tripping on it.
And also, I think that starting really early is, of course, good because you have much more experience. But in the end, you like eat a lot of punches to the head, also like some kind of injuries from like grappling, wrestling. So I think
Yeah.
that because of you are like a little bit late starter, you also get like good cards in your hand, let's say.
Yeah, I think so too. And funny you say that too, because I was talking with Brock about this. Yeah, it was probably like a month ago. We'll just say the other day. And I was saying that like I don't know if I feel like almost like you're saying you really don't have that much. Whether you start early or late, I feel like you only have so much tread on the tires. So I don't really know if maybe it is better to start a little bit later rather than super early. I don't know, but I'm good with where I'm at, and yeah, like I said, everything happens for a reason. So
And about like watching the UFC fights, do you have right now the one, let's say one fighter that you really like to watch?
Right now, I mean, gosh, I got so many that I like, but like right now, like my favorite current active fighter has got to probably be. If we're talking just like fighting wise, it's got to probably be Topuria. Just because I think too is just because like I'm just more interested in guys that are my actual weight class, and so like 45ers, 55ers. That's kind of more who I'm paying attention to, focus on. I really like Jack Della too. He's a beast. He just those guys like when they get so good, it's like truly like an art. And like the way he's just so relaxed and like throw when he throws his punches and stuff, it's really fun to watch a guy that's like that good. I'm trying to think of who else I really like right now. Obviously Max, like all the OGs. I love those guys. Dustin was one of my big I got a lot of inspiration from Poirier. He's someone I've always watched since like the Faber day, the WC days as well. So I'm a big fan of Dustin, but as far as like off the mic or as far as like on the mic and just and also I guess how he fights too is I love Derek Lewis. I think he's a freaking beast. He's just super entertaining. Like so yeah, those are some guys I like right now.
And about Ilia, because he was the first fighter that you mentioned. In your
Yeah.
opinion, who should be his next opponent? Because there are like three main options.
That weight is kind of weird right now. It's kind of just the passing of the guard a little bit and what okay, so okay, let me think about this. I think it should be so it kind of sounds like I don't know if it's just I don't know where this came from or what, but it kind of sounds like he's gonna fight Gaethje. I don't know if there's any truth to that or not, but have you been seeing that too?
Yes, but I think that right now it's just like rumors.
Yeah, yeah, just rumors. So I honestly wouldn't be mad at that fight. Um, I think Armin's probably the guy. I think you should fight Armin actually, and then I think Gaethje and Patty should fight. I mean, that seems to me like that makes the most sense. But I know Gaethje doesn't want that fight, and also I don't know. I think Patty's good, and who am I to talk shit or anything? But he's kind of he's been very he's got good opponents like Chandler. Chandler's I mean, what's his record in the UFC? He's like two. He's kind of past his prime, and he's had a few losses in a row, and then same with like Bobby Green. I saw a stat like his last like three opponents they had a combined record of like 0 and 13 of their last 13 fights. So it's like I feel like they're kind of trying to build Patty up. Obviously, he's kind of a big cash cow as he even says. So, but yeah, I just don't think I think Gaethje wins that fight against Patty. And I think that'd be a fun fight to watch too. So I think they do that, and I think he Armin fights Topuria, that'll be a really good fight too if that ends up happening. Because I think Armin's got some pretty good grappling, and I know Ilya does too. I just think Armin's a little bit bigger, and Armin's got pretty good striking too. So yeah, that'd be a good fight. I'd be very interested to watch it for sure.
Like next opponent, I would agree that Arman is definitely the most interesting challenge. And of course,
Mhm.
there is some bad blood between Ilya and Paddy, and I think that it would sell quite well. But right now, I think that Ilya Arman is definitely a fight to make.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. Yeah.
Uh,
Trying to think who's Volk gonna fight next? Featherweight.
uh, I think that there also are some rumors against him against Liron Murphy.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, Murphy's a stud. Too bad about Pico, huh? I feel like that. I feel like he just has. I don't know, man. Some kind of bad luck because I feel like he was probably gonna win that fight until he wasn't. But and he's a stud too. Pico's a stud. It just seems like he. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if he rushed into the whole fighting thing or what, but I've obviously been following him for forever too, just because he's a wrestler and he could have been one of the best wrestlers probably ever, and then he chose to do this. So it just kind of sucks to not see him like being super successful, but he's still pretty young too. So and he is super successful. I shouldn't say he's not successful, but you just would think he would be, and I think he probably thinks that he's the best in the world. You think he would be up there at this point, but I don't know. I probably sound like I'm talking shit. I don't mean to talk shit, but he's just a stud. Kind of feel for him. Feel for him losing. But Murphy's a beast too. He's an animal. That'll be a good fight. I feel like the featherweight division too right now is kind of, I don't know, needs some new blood in there too. It just seems like some of these divisions are just, I don't know, they've been kind of held up for a long time, but I don't know.
Yes, but there is like Jean Silva, like Movsar Evlov is also like maybe he's not the most exciting one, but in the end he's undefeated. So there are a few really good fighters like Aljamain Sterling also went up to
Aljo,
featherweight
yeah.
some time ago. So I think that there are few really good matchups that like matchmakers can make.
Yeah, for sure. You're right. Now that I'm thinking about it, for sure. Mofsar would be a tough fight too, I think. Just that wrestling. Him and Aljo. That was a really good fight too. That him and that Aljo fight. I love that fight. That was a great fight. A lot of grappling, but that was a good one. Aljo's kind of surprising me on how well he's doing at featherweight a little bit because he doesn't seem like he's. To me, he still looks kind of undersized. I was just in Vegas um like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, and we were at the PI. I went with Patchy and my buddy Tyler to the PI, and we did a few practices. And I saw Aljo there, and I didn't really think he looked that big. Like he looked like a bantamweight in my opinion, but yeah, it was fun watching him and Marab at the PI rolling around. That was cool. But anyway, being long-winded.
And actually, like Aljo for I believe around few years got a little bit maybe not haters, but the people who really don't like him because especially because of the Petrian situation. But in the end, I think that he is like a great fighter, one of the best bantamweights ever, and I think that he got also really cool personality. So I'm actually
Yeah.
really big fan of him.
I think he definitely has won people back over after the Jan thing because it did just suck. I mean, and it's like, what do you do? It's not really his fault. I mean, Jan straight up just illegally need him. I don't know what that was just such a weird situation, but even I was kind of like, man, come on. But I think he's definitely won people back. He seems cool. I like him too.
And when you are thinking about your career, you mentioned that there is like the plan, let's say the plan that you will get to the UFC, to the Contender Series next year.
Yes, sir.
And in this time, how many more of the wins would you like to have?
I'd like to. So LFA comes, not that I have to fight for LFA by any means, but I think I'm kind of like in with them, and I think we don't have anything signed like exclusivity wise or anything like that, but I think that's probably how it's going to continue from here, fighting for them. And I know they come back usually to Minnesota in January. So if I can get that one in January, they come back to Minnesota again in April. Just timeline wise, that'd be good. So I'd be about 7-0 before kind of next year Contender Series with a few months to spare. So yeah, maybe find another fight somewhere in between there too. So I might get 8-0. I think, especially if I can get that title fight and win the LFA title, I think that almost kind of seals it for you to get into the Contender Series or get pulled up. Um, so yeah, if I can get like 3 more fights, I think we'll be sitting pretty.
And I think that also you have this really interesting and eye-catching style that you are finishing your opponents. Of course, you are not eating a lot of punches, so I think it will definitely help you in the like next year, let's say.
Yeah, I think so too. Thank you for that too. Yeah, I'm looking for finishes for sure. I'm not trying to, I always say too, like, sometimes you see guys like, I don't really understand it, but you see guys that like are down 2 rounds, let's say, going into the third, and then you don't see them like really going for the kill. They're still trying to play it safe. Like I don't understand that. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. Like if I'm down 2 rounds, I'm gonna either kill or be killed. I'm gonna if I get put away, then I get put away. But I'm gonna try everything to take that guy out of there. So that's just the mentality that I have. If I have to go live and die by the sword, if I get put down trying to put the guy down, then so be it. It is what it is.
And there are a few really good fighters that they have this kind of style that even when they are losing, still there is quite a big chance that they can win in like third or like fourth round.
Yeah. Yo.
Yes, for me it's like the Marlon Vera. He won a few fights that he was losing, or even like Derek Lewis. He also got this one punch knockout power that he needs
Yeah.
just 1 second.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. Yeah, and I think I have that power too, which is yeah, kind of funny. It's cool how like as you progress in your career and you kind of discover it's almost like you discover who you are as a fighter. Like you discover your style almost. Like it just kind of happens. You figure it out and it's like, "Oh, yeah, I actually do have some power in my hands." So it's just kind of cool because I was never like in wrestling, I was never like a big like power. Like I wouldn't like blast doubles or anything like that. It was more like slick. Whereas then I was saying, "No, I'm pretty slick and I got some power in my hands too." So it's just kind of cool to kind of figure these things out about yourself.
And how would you define success in MMA for you? So let's say that you just retired, and what do you need to do to treat your career, your MMA career, as the success?
Um, like being undefeated, being a world champion and all that stuff is obviously like the goal and would be nice, but I think I guess what would define success for me is I just want my sons and my daughters and I want them to just be proud of me. I just want to be a good example for them and just show them that like just to give it your all. And if you lose, you lose. If you win, you win. Don't get too high, don't get too low. I just want to be a good example for them, for my family, I think. I think that's what success in fighting means to me because there's a good chance I'm gonna lose eventually. Like, and that's okay. Like, as long as I just want them to know, like, as long as you're out there and you're giving it your all, whatever you do, like, that's really all you can do. So, yeah, I think that's probably about it.
Yes, and it's like in fighting and also in life that you are not always winning. It's not possible, especially when you taking like really tough challenges. In the end, you will lose at some point. And like one example, like Khabib, that he was undefeated, but probably when he would like fight for 2 or 3 more years, he would lose. And it's not because he
Yep.
was not great, but because it's just alive.
Yeah, that's just how it is. He got out when he did, and like you're saying, he probably would have eventually. I mean, it just happens. It's just odds are that's gonna happen. So yeah, Khabib's case is pretty cool that he got out when he did, I think. But yeah, man, I really don't think about wins and losses. I try not to think about the outcome at all, like of a fight, and I try to kind of have that in life. It's like I just do what I can do, and the rest will take care of itself. My grandpa would always tell me, like before wrestling matches and stuff like that in high school, to do your best and God will do the rest. And I still try to live by that, and I still think about that, like kind of before my fights and stuff. And it kind of just uh relieves like any kind of anxiety and stuff that you have. It's like I work my ass off every single day. Like the fight has already been won or lost, really. Like I just got to show up and do it. Like there's nothing I can do from here to the fight that's gonna change the outcome. I know how to fight, and yeah. So
And do you have something like bucket list? So the list or like few things that you would like to do in your life? Of course, like more of the outside of the cage.
um, man, I'd love to travel. Would be awesome. I love I'd like to own. So my wife and I actually we kind of had a busy week because we actually just bought our own business. Excuse me. We just bought a daycare business. And my wife has ran that for the past like 3 years, and we actually bought it. So that's something new. So now we're business owners. So kind of so being an entrepreneur is cool. I'd like to own. We've always talked about starting a business and owning our own business, but I think I just love fighting and martial arts. I think it'd be cool to have my own gym, run my own gym, do something, you know, um, eventually do something like that. I think would be awesome. But I'm not very like I'm not a very like materialist. Like I don't really care about material stuff too much. Like I don't need to have a big fancy house or nice cars or anything like that. I just yeah. What was the question again? I got a little long-winded.
Yes, yes, about like the list that you would like to, let's say, accomplish or have, like a bucket list.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, just kind of like traveling, I think would be the best. To me, that's like the best because it's just like having these experiences. I just want to like have as many experiences on this life as I can, I think is good ones. That's kind of, yeah, for me, I think that'd be awesome to like eventually like just me and my wife, like when the kids grow up and are out of the house, I think getting a camper and just going all over the US would be pretty fun, something like that. But I also like I have so many dang ambitions actually now that I'm thinking about it. Like there's so much stuff I would love to do that it's just like you got to kind of figure out what. Like I would love to hike the Appalachian Trail. Like that'd be cool. Like going hiking. I don't know if you know about the Appalachian Trail. Yeah, so it's like I think it's like 21,000 or 2,100 miles, something like that. But I'd love to just through hike that. I think that'd be cool. I would love to do an ultra marathon. I'd love to run 100 miles someday, 200 miles maybe, something like that. Like that's the stuff that interests me, not like cool cars and nice watches and all that type of shit. But that stuff's cool too, but I'm just more yeah, looking for experiences. So hopefully I can set up my life where eventually we can do all those things. I don't have to be worried about working at a job that you hate, the rest of your life. So yeah, that's kind of my plan. I don't know. My wife might say something otherwise, but
Okay, Tanner. So good luck with good luck in the cage in the elephant fight, and of course in your things outside of the cage too. And
thank you, sir.
I hope that you will get some big fight maybe early next year, and maybe later next year you will fight for the UFC.
Dude, that's I hope so. Thank you for that. I hope so, man.